Greetings, Benjamin J. from Ben's Trains with another in the series. Well, a follow-up on that Commodore Vanderbilt. Just put the finials back on it. I haven't folded the tabs over yet. I've just got them stuck in place. I just wanted you to see the almost end result of this. Now, I'm going to let this dry probably till tomorrow before I fold these tabs down because this paint is still really, really soft. But anyway, this is basically the finished product of what it's going to look like. Put a motor in it. Fold the tabs down, it's ready to run. So as you see, this no longer looks like a wind-up locomotive. It looks like a genuine Commodore Vanderbilt. So total cost to do this was $8 for the shell itself, and I don't know, 2 hours of my time, something like that. Most of the time is spent waiting for the epoxy to cure and the paint to dry. But this is really, really straightforward and easy to do. And that paint did hide 90% of the flaws in this stamping. So as you see, this actually doesn't look bad at all. The hole is invisible. The slot is invisible. Repainted the finials. The finials are far from perfect. I mean, this is an old wind-up locomotive. But sprayed them with that chrome paint, and as you see, this actually looks quite respectable. And the nice thing about it is it no longer looks like a wind-up. Now, the holes are gone, the slot is gone. It actually looks quite nice, even close up, as you see. So it's far from perfect. It's still just an old Marx locomotive. But you've breathed new life into it. It actually looks new. It doesn't look bad at all. So it's really difficult to shoot black, of course, you know, especially this semi-gloss paint. It's just difficult to see any detail. But that's also the good thing about it, is that it hides lots and lots and lots of flaws in this shell. But as you see, this does not look bad at all. No one would know that this started life as a wind-up locomotive. So I'm going to let it set till tomorrow, and then I'll lay it down on a towel and fold the tabs down for the finials, get those locked in position, and pull the tape off of the tab and slot coupler. I've got a motor that is ready to go into this. It's a old motor with a bypass, E-unit bypass, so it runs forward only. I could drop a decent motor in it, but as long as it runs, that's the important part. Anyway, the entire point of doing this is I always stress, don't overlook the junk. You know, just because something's junk when you get it doesn't mean it's going to be junk when you're finished with it. And as you see, this actually doesn't look bad at all. From a foot away, this looks like a brand new locomotive. And the slot is gone, the hole is gone. It has good, clean, straight lines. All the dinks and the problems in the shell are covered up. And this actually looks quite respectable. So anyway, just wanted to do a video. Let me get it off this white background. That might help. Just put it across the rail. So as you see, that actually looks quite respectable. No one would know that this was started life as a wind-up locomotive. And of course, you don't have to use black. If you put enough time and effort into primering this, and of course you spend some time getting those holes that you filled nice and flat, you can paint it red, blue, green, any color you want. That's the neat thing about making a custom locomotive. Black, of course, is the easiest. It hides all of the problems or defects in the shell itself. But as you can see, even close up, that hole is invisible, virtually invisible. And it actually does not look bad at all. Like I said, from a foot away, this looks like a brand new locomotive. And then it's up to you. You can put a single reduction motor in it, double reduction motor in it. Doesn't make any difference. But as you see, it's worth the time and the effort it takes to do this. It's not difficult. Anyone can do it. And it just really depends on how much energy you want to put into refinishing a locomotive. And of course, the nice thing about it is that you have the satisfaction of knowing you're the one that did this. And the result is actually quite satisfying. And of course, it increases the value. This started as an $8 locomotive that I picked up. It was a wind up with a broken spring, and those are the ones you want to look for. If the spring is broken, these things are just useless. I mean, their value is gone, unless someone's going to buy it for the shell, which is what I did. But even so, $8 on eBay. It was $8, $10, I don't remember. And take the wind-up motor out, take the front crossbar off, put it on a single reduction motor or a double reduction motor, and you instantly have an electric Commodore Vanderbilt. And in this case, you want to clean it up, epoxy putty, fill the hole on the side, fill the slot in the top, repaint your finials, and this is the result. It actually looks quite respectable. It looks like a nice Commodore Vanderbilt. It was cheap, it's custom. Like I said, you can make it any color you want. It looks actually quite nice. And the best part, of course, is that you did it yourself, and it gives you a new Commodore Vanderbilt, that being, of course, a relative term. This does not look like it's 75 years old at all. This looks new, virtually new. So anyway, just a quick follow-up on converting these wind-up Commodore Vanderbilts. And you can do this with any metal locomotive that has holes and slots in the top for a wind-up motor. It's not difficult. It's a bit time-consuming, but like I said, most of it is waiting for things to dry rather than actual physical work. And as far as physically doing that, it takes 10 minutes to fill the slot, 10-15 minutes to sand it all or file it all flush. And I have not sanded this. I just did everything with a file. And as you see, the holes are completely invisible. Sprayed those finials with chrome paint. I've taken no time with this at all. It was pretty much straightforward. I tried to document as much of it as I could, but as you see, the result is actually quite impressive. It looks nice. It's going to run really well, and it's going to look new. I mean, from a foot away, no one would know that this is a 70-year-old wind-up conversion. That's plain Jane. There are no handrails on it. There is no front placard. There is no side placard that says Commodore Vanderbilt. Now, you can add that stuff as a decal if you want to. But to do this cheap, you'll find that the decals will cost as much as the locomotive did. So it's straightforward. It's a really super easy way to make a Commodore Vanderbilt out of some real junk. And in this case, it was an old broken Commodore, and converted it to an electric locomotive in just a matter of, 2 hours or so, actual physical time spent on this. It's not difficult at all. As you see, it looks fairly decent. And tomorrow it will be up and running with a motor in it. I'll do a follow-up video of it on the rail pulling a consist. But you can see for yourself, this is more than acceptable. No one would object to owning this. It looks nice, it's going to run like new, it's going to look new, and it costs virtually nothing to do this. It just depends on how much time you're willing to put into this. It's simple, it's straightforward, and like I said, the results are actually quite satisfactory. This does not look bad at all, as you see. Not at all. It actually looks quite nice. So just to follow up on the Commodore Vanderbilt conversion. So tomorrow will be the final video, and I'll put the motor back in it. We'll put it on the consist, and I'll put it on an original Marx consist and run this around the rail. This is actually going to look quite nice. So just want to do a quick video. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to drop me an email, BENZTRAINZ@gmail.com. And as always, thank you for watching.